I passed multiple prop firm challenges using robots. Hello traders, Marin here from Algo Trading Space team. I'm super excited about today's video because I will review a system which I developed with the help of AI and which helped me to pass several challenges in the last few months. Stay with me until the end of the video, because I will show you how I created the system, but also I will show you the upgraded version which I improved while preparing for this video. Without further talking, let's jump into the trading screen to show you this system. I'm here on my Holo Prime account, which is a prop firm where I trade the most in the last few months, and I have several challenges here. And first I will show you those which have the past batch. I have few more ongoing, and also I have a funded account with one of the past challenges, and with this one 200k I'm currently on the phase 2 of the challenge, so it is still ongoing. I used exactly the same system here to pass these challenges, but also I passed challenges with other prop firms using the same system, and I will review what is the system right now. So I'll switch to Algo Trading Space website and I'll show you the tool which I was using. This is the prop firm robots app. You probably have heard about the app already in our channels. We have passed many challenges through the years with different systems, picking the top 5 robots for example, or picking the top 3, top 1, cross-checking. There were many systems, and actually at the middle of last year I decided to give it a try to another system and another selection criteria, because I wanted to test something new and something which we haven't done before. And actually for this system I even didn't need to trade at the beginning. I created this analysis table, this Google Sheet, where I have been making snapshots of the stats from the prop firm robots app. I started this activity at the beginning of August last year, and I was doing it for several months until I figured out the pattern. What I was doing here, I was making, like I said, snapshots of the stats from the prop firm robots app. So every Saturday morning when the apps get updated, I came up here and I was just copying and pasting the metrics which I was seeing here. So basically documenting the performance of the strategies each and every week. I was doing this usually over the weekend. So week after week I was making fresh snapshots from the app, putting the data into the AI and asking it whether or not the pattern is confirmed or denied. And eventually after 8 weeks of doing this, the pattern was already confirmed, and actually at some moment at the end of August I started to implement this system in my real trading, and this helped me to pass this 200k challenge. Then I implemented the system here, but I will tell you what was the essence with this one right now. So with Holo Prime for example, you are not allowed to trade the same asset in the same direction simultaneously across multiple accounts. They consider this as a breach of the rules, and with the framework I developed, usually I was left with 2-3 strategies that I could trade with. So eventually I was limited and I couldn't trade simultaneously all the accounts, and at that moment I decided that I could use the top 10 robots app as well, which pretty much is a similar app, but it serves a different purpose. Again, we have many generated strategies, but here we have a lot of currency pairs. Also we have indices and we have the cryptos, we have many time frames, and overall there are more strategies here. And while in the prop firm robots app we have predefined rules for the challenges and we have some custom challenges here, this feature is also available here in the export options, but I would need to do it manually. And after implementing this system in my one-step prime assessment, and I got the funded account at the middle of February. So what is the system actually? It's pretty simple. I'll open the sheet again and I'll go to the rules and I'll show you the simple rules which I'm following. I decided that I'm not going to be looking at performance metrics. What do I mean? I'm not going to be looking at profits, trades and that kind of information. I'm just looking at when the strategy was created and when the strategy was added. And why I decided to use this type of selection? Because I wanted the strategies to have at least 1 week forward testing in the app before I start trading them on the challenge account. And with this system, personally, I didn't do any demo testing. I was taking the strategies a week after they matured in the app, and I was trading them for 2 to 3 weeks, and I figured out that after day 21, the strategies would eventually drop from the app. But dropping from the app does not mean that the strategy will not perform anymore. You can see strategies which are created 43 days ago, for example. And if I go to the top 10 robots app and go to the latest, you can see strategies created 5 months ago and all they started, for example, added 3 months ago. So this strategy stays in the app for 3 months and it is still profitable, like this one, for example, or this one. But what I wanted to achieve with this system, I wanted to take the peak out of each strategy. And why strategy usually drops from the apps? Because on our servers, we generate and validate strategies all the time. And when a strategy is dropped, this means that another one which showed a better better performance is replacing it. It's not that this one is not performing anymore, but there is a better strategy and we always want to display the best strategies from the generation process. So like I told you, with the top 10 robots app, it was easy to implement this process. And actually, while I was preparing for this video and collecting all the documentation, all the stuff, I decided to run an experiment again with the AI. I created another chat. I have uploaded my framework. I have uploaded all the findings which I had, some recent data from the apps, and the AI helped me to further improve this framework. And let me show you the improved version and the weekly flow chart which I'm going to be using from now on. So originally, like I showed to you, I was following this simple principle, looking for strategies added between 7 and 15 days ago and created to added gap to be no more than 7 days. And also I was usually trading strategies from different pairs in the prop firm robots app because I wanted to avoid correlation. But this system took several months to pass. You can see again in these challenges, like this one started on the 30th of June and I get the second step account in the 30th of November, which is not bad. 4 or 5 months for prop challenge is pretty solid. We have a 10% profit target, so this means that I was making average 2% per month while staying within the risk limits. And here, for example, this one I started on the 12th of September, and again 4 or 5 months to pass this one. But I wanted to speed up the process, and also I wanted to make the selection really tailored towards the current market requests. And I will show you the updated framework again and explain how it works and show you how I'm going to be using it going forward. So what's happening at the beginning of each week? I will use the top 10 robots app in this example, and on the left side you can see my decision flow chart, and on the right side you can see the top 10 robots app. I do this every Saturday or Sunday morning, and let's say it's Saturday or Sunday today, because like I told you earlier, this is the moment when strategies are being added to the app. So usually at Saturday noon, you are sure that the new strategies have been added and you can make a check. And what is this framework about? First, I'm looking about new strategies which are added less than 3 days ago. So for example, looking at the strategy, it is added 2 days ago and it qualifies this one also. And these strategies I will just add to a watch list, or I will just put the number here and then for this one, and this will be my watch list. So next week I would know that I would need to come and check if these strategies are still in the app and what is the performance. But this step is optional. Usually we can start just with step 2. So checking if the strategy is added between 7 and 15 days ago. This is very simple. I just scroll through the app and I can see added between 7 and 15 days ago, and this one, for example, here qualifies. It is added 10 days ago to the app. Then I'm looking for positive out of sample profit, which means the profit after the strategy was created. And if you don't have the out of sample metric, simply scroll up and turn it on like this. And this strategy has a positive out of sample, so it qualifies and continues to the next step. Next, we have the profit factor. We are looking for profit factor above 1.25. This one has 1.41, which is perfectly fine. And we're looking for profit factor stable or improving versus the last week. This is where the watch list comes. And if in the last week you have documented the strategies, you have put here the profit factor. Let's again go back here and see this one ending on 103. This is the profit factor, and the other one ending on 12. This is the profit factor. So the week after, when I check the performance, I would be hoping that the profit factor has been improved here. This is optional. This is not 100% mandatory, but it's good to have it. And this is additional verification that the strategy is evolving very well and it is performing very well once tested in the real market. Because like you see here, if the profit factor is a lot different than what was before, maybe the strategy is fading. We're continuing to the next check, which is the gap between the creation and addition in the app. And this is very important because I'm looking for strategies which had some time in the app after they were created, not strategies which are just created and added immediately in the app. So created to added gap to be less than 7 days ago. If we look again at our example, here this one was created 19 days ago, but it was added 10 days ago. So it will be excluded from our filtration. You have also this note here. You can accept with caution if profit factor is above 1.35. So in this case, the profit factor is above 1.35. And if there are no other strategies, I may select this one if the other rules are okay. Like total trades, it has less than 300, which is pretty fine. For me, I'll talk about that in a second. But let's say, for example, that we're not going to be trading this strategy and I want to find another strategy which is suitable and follows all these rules. With the euro dollar, I can find such, so I'll switch to the pound USD. And this is the beauty of the top 10 robots app. You have so many currency pairs and you have so many strategies to pick from. So it is very unlikely that you will not have strategies to trade at the end of the week. But also I have added this bonus tip and I'll talk about it later. Now, if we're looking at the pound USD, we can see that this first strategy strategy was added between 11 and 13 days ago. We're returning back to step 2 and this one is complete, so we're continuing. We have the positive out of sample profit, we have higher profit factor than 1.25. We cannot check the profit factor compared to the last week yet because I haven't documented this one. So we will just continue here and we have created two added gap which is less than 7 days ago because the strategy should be created no more than 18 days ago, because if we add 7, which is the maximum here, if we add 7 to 11, it makes 18. So if it's created 18 days ago or less, this means that this strategy is a strong candidate. And next we have total trades less than 300. And actually this is a bonus point. It is not mandatory, but usually strategies with not that big amount of trades are not overfitted for the historical data, so I would just pick that one. And as you can see here, the note, except if other rules pass. And with this strategy, we already noticed that all the other rules pass. Again, I would consider this strategy as a good candidate. And I'll just continue scrolling down, looking at all the other strategies. And basically, I do this every Saturday or Sunday. It doesn't really matter. Usually I do it Saturday morning with this framework. And I'll just pick some other strategies. Let's look at the dollar yen. Usually we have a lot of strategies here. And for example, I quickly see that this is a very good candidate. Now I have become used to this system and I can easily identify the strategies. This one was added 7 days ago, perfectly fine. It has positive out of sample profit. It has profit factor above 1.25. Again, I don't know what was the profit factor last week because this is a new addition to my framework, but still with the old framework, this one is completely fine. And the new framework confirms that this strategy is supposed to be traded. We have the created to added gap again. It is less than 14 days in this case, so it's perfectly fine. We have less than 300 trades and this would be a strategy from a different currency pair. So I ended up filtering 3 strategies, one for dollar yen, one for euro dollar and one for pound dollar. But I can continue doing it with the rest of the currency pairs and the indices and I will find more strategies. So at the end I would pick different strategies from the different pairs and no more than one strategy per pair. And if there are less than 2 strategies that pass, I would wait for the next Saturday because new candidates will appear every week. And basically guys, one perfect pick beats 2 compromised ones. And if I go back to my challenges which I am running at the moment, with many of the challenges which I have passed, I had a week where I didn't trade. Actually, I was just pausing the trading because there were no good candidates. Same applies here for these accounts as well. Now, before I show you the funded account, let me ask you for something. The majority of the people watching our videos aren't yet subscribed to the channel. If you just subscribe, this will help us grow the channel and make more experiments, use more AI in trading, and also show you systems that work like this one. So please subscribe to the channel. And actually guys, I'm preparing also a video to reveal the system which I'm using in funded accounts, not because I cannot use the same system in funded accounts, but because like I showed you with this prop firm, I cannot trade the same assets across multiple accounts, and because I have so many accounts, it is difficult to diversify the risk. So I decided to make a completely different system, which is working very well, and I already got a payout with that one. Let's jump to the screen now. And about the funded account, let me quickly show you what's going on there. I have already requested a payout here, several consecutive winning trades. The payout, I have 2 losing trades, but you can see the backtest of the strategy which I'm trading here. Pretty stable performance, and I know that from the backtest metrics that the strategy is not supposed to make more than 4 or 5 consecutive losses in a single day, but I will reveal this strategy in another video. So this was my system which I developed with the help of AI. I passed multiple prop challenges this way, and going forward I plan to use it like this. And as a bonus for those of you who watched the video until the end, I will put a discount code for the top 10 robots app. You can get it with a really good discount, and this app is really great product that we're going to develop more and more in the future. Thank you for watching guys, good luck in trading, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!